Si por ti daría la vida, si confundo tu sonrisa, por camelo si me miras, razón y piel, difícil mezclar. Agua y sed, serio problema. ¿Cómo quieres ser mi amiga? Si por ti me perdería, si confundo tus caricias, por camelo si me mimas, pasión y ley, difícil mezclar, agua y sed, serio problema cuando uno tiene sed, pero el agua no está cerca. Si uno quiere beber, pero el agua no está cerca. ¿Qué hacer? Tú lo sabes. Conservar la distancia y dejar que el agua corra. ¿Cómo vas a ser mi amiga cuando esta carta recibas un mensaje ahí entre líneas? ¿Cómo quieres ser mi amiga? Pasión y ley, difícil mezclar, agua y sed, serio problema cuando uno tiene sed, pero el agua no está cerca. Cuando uno quiere beber, pero el agua no está cerca.
What a way to start the week. Thank you so very much, Elena Dubinsky and Dario Acosta Taik, the one and only and exclusive remote daily house band. So beautiful. Thank you for ringing in the week with us. And it's good to see you all here live on Remote Daily. My name is Felix Zeltner, and I'm excited to host you live from somewhat cloudy, somewhat springy New York City today on Monday, May 18. This is your virtual cafe where you meet innovators and you all come together here for a daily dose of inspiration and support. We always host a guest. Today's topic is the future of agencies, and this conversation is, as always, live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Hi there, thanks for joining us. And for the second half of the hour, we bring people together here on Zoom. If you want to be part of that and you're joining us on the live stream right now, just sign up on remotedaily.co. I have to say, this community here has become somewhat of a second family for my team and myself, and a lot of people canceling other appointments for this. coming in this oasis here together, regaining mental stability, finding ways to work differently from home, to work through a crisis together. People sending us emails every day saying, sorry, I can't be there, but I check out your YouTube. And it's just been an amazing ride. And I want to thank you all for coming back on this Monday to be here with us. Mark Cuban, when he was on the show, said, why can't all content be like that? We're working hard that we stay ahead of the curve and give you a feeling that maybe is the talk show of the future. We don't know, but we thank you for being here. And I also want to thank everybody who's working in the background to make Remote Daily happen. For once, this is my family. Just like everyone, I'm at home. I have kids, and my partner is having a great role in this Remote Daily, even if you rarely see her behind the scenes. So does Jolie McPhee, running the live stream. Thank you, Jolie. And of course, Grace, who is there in the background, taking care of our partnerships. If you want to partner with us, just reach out. It's been an amazing new way of partnering together and creating content together here on Remote Daily. And of course, live from Brooklyn, my fabulous co-host and amazing facilitator, here's Britt Pham. Hi, Britt. It's good to see you.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Roll around?
Thumbs up. Thank you. How are you doing today, Britt?
I'm good. I'm good. I forget I have to facilitate, like, asking people direct questions. I can't just, like, ask an open room for things, but I'm happy to be here. It's sunny. I just had some banana bread that I made over the weekend, so no complaints at the moment.
Wow, good choice. Yeah, I got a banana bread for birthday with like frosting like this because my daughter decided frosting on banana bread makes sense. She ate most of it anyway. So enjoy your banana bread and to sync with each other here. And Britt, you're doing this in the most amazing way. I'll pass the mic back to you for our grounding breath on this Monday. Here you go.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everybody, all 25 of you on here. Again, my name's Britt Pham. My pronouns are she, her. And I'm just going to take a moment to get us all grounded and present on this Monday. Go ahead and place both feet on the ground if you can. Really feel the earth, feel the wood floor, the tile, whatever it is underneath you. And sit up a little bit straighter. Maybe roll your shoulders up and back. And get to a position that's comfortable for you. On your next exhale, soften your eyes closed and put your hands on your body, one heart on your chest, over your heart, one hand over your belly. And start taking really deep breaths, filling your belly, not your chest, as deep as you can, and out. I'm going to invite us all to take 4 big breaths together. Breathe in and out. In and out. In, out. In and out. And as you return to your natural breathing rhythm, just get really present with this space, with this virtual call that we're all on, with this hour we're about to embark on together. Maybe set an intention for the next hour. Maybe shake it out and just release anything that's just not working for you right now. Put it down. It's all good. And when you're ready, go ahead and settle and flutter your eyes on open. Amazing. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for breathing together. It's really, really beautiful to have people from all over the world breathing together. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Felix.
Thank you, Britt. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this to us every day. We've received so much praise for this moment that you create here every day. And thanks for just creating this space here for us. And now I invite all of you, if you feel comfortable, if you feel like in the mood for, just sharing some FaceTime with each other, switch on your video and swipe over. So on your app, you can see everybody, or on your desktop app, click on the gallery view and just say hi. Because there are a lot of regulars here who see each other almost every day, the second family, so to speak. Big shout outs, of course, to our house band, but also to Christopher, to Joe, to Patricia, to Brenda, John, Yvonne, Annalena, Kyoko, Jennifer, Tilo, Tommy, Michelle, Sabina, Michelle Katz also. And of course, hi to all the newbies. It's good to see you in the house. Hi, David. Hi, Emily. Hi, Raymond. Hi, Sam. Hi, Caitlin. And everybody else who's joining us on the live stream. It's a pleasure to have you here. And your virtual cling of the day. Whatever you have next to your screen, the water bottle, glass of orange juice. Let's cheer to one another all around the world. Cheers. Welcome to Remote Daily. And now we come to a topic I'm super excited about. I have so many thoughts, and I look forward to your questions in the chat. The future of work, the future of the creative industry, it's all in there. And welcoming our guest will, as always, our amazing house band with the exclusive Remote Daily jingle.
This is Remote Daily, your daily dose of inspiration. Yeah, this is Remote Daily, an oasis of innovation. For your mind, soul, and heart, connect, act, and recharge with Remote Daily. This is Remote Daily.
Yeah, and a large round of virtual applause for George Raptis, co-founder of Curated and our distinguished guest today on Remote Daily. Hi, George. How's it going?
Hi, Felix. How are you? It's going well. It's going well. It's good to see so many people here today. And I'm joining you from Colorado, which is a little bit sunnier than New York by the sounds of things.
You're in Denver, Colorado, Boulder, Colorado?
I'm a little bit higher in the mountains, sort of a bit of self-quarantine, but our team is based in New York. So we are normally, all together in Manhattan, but right now kind of dispersed pending what happens, I guess.
Yeah, so greetings to the mountains from all the world to you. We have a community that's spread all across the country, all across the Atlantic, going as far as Croatia, Czech Republic. So hi and welcome to Mountain Time. And George, you have a pretty amazing CV, amazing as in I love when people just like break out and change industries and learn one thing and hop onto the next one and try to immerse themselves in things they might not be comfortable with, and then just you do it. And you went from being a lawyer in Australia to having a fintech startup in the Silicon Valley, and now running in the middle of the biggest advertising industry in the world. You're running Curated. May you just explain to us, share to us what brought you on this journey? Yeah,
sure. So I was fortunate enough to start my career in Australia, grew up in Australia, was an attorney, corporate lawyer, sort of had been through that college experience and everyone tells you go get a professional job and do all of that. And that was sort of late first decade of this century and into, the early, this past decade. And just felt like being in a corporate sweatshop wasn't what I was going to do for life. It was satisfying and if you look at a lot of the companies coming out of Australia, part of a business called credible.com, which many of your viewers might know, fintech business built in San Francisco. And what we really built there was sort of the first integrated marketplace where you could essentially actually take loans on the website. So our technology there was really about starting with the problem at the time, sort of in 2012, 2013, which was student loans, which was just a really big problem at the time and still is today. And then using that marketplace technology to go into credit cards, personal loans, into mortgages. And we grew that business from sort of a couple of people to 150, and that business was acquired. Well, first it was listed, and then it was acquired. And we are
So George, sorry to interrupt. You're cutting off a little bit. One thing you could do maybe to improve your connection is to close browser tabs. I sometimes run into issues with Wi-Fi when I have too many browser tabs open. So that's one thing you could do. Maybe then the connection will be more stable. I think the last thing we all heard was that you had listed Credible. Got it.
Can you hear me now a bit better?
Yeah.
Great. So Credible listed and was then acquired, we that then led me to Curated, which is sort of the next adventure, and our website is curated.io, so that's sort of been my journey, and we're based, like you said, in New York, which is an interesting time to be building a business in the city.
Yeah, definitely is. And you are a law guy, you're a finance guy, you're an entrepreneur. I think you also represent a larger and larger wave of people that are leaving, corporate leaders, really. We have many in our community here that leave this world and venture out on their own and start amazing new businesses. So congratulations on everything you have built. As you just said, agencies are in a major crisis right now. I mean, it's always been a service business, a business that reacts to how others do. But these days, it's just, I mean, it looks really off the hook. There's a tracker by Ad Age that I just want to share in a chat with you. Ad Age is kind of, trying to track how agencies are of course, the large agencies are behaving in this time, and how the layoffs and furloughs are pouring in. So when you look at this, have you ever seen a shift like this in the creative world since you started, really paying attention to it?
I think the agency world has always had this kind of elevated status amongst the community. And I think the way we've always thought about agencies has been expensive. Like someone says the word agency and they often hear the big agencies that we're all familiar with, the Ogilvies of the world and things like that. I think in any financial downturn, you'll see a shift in that model. But those relationships have traditionally been long-term retainer-based relationships. The shift that we're seeing in particular now is that, and to take your last comment, people are leaving their jobs and going and doing their own thing, and they're coming from the professional world of which the agency is one. What we're seeing now is that you don't need an agency relationship now to work with a small agency.
You were cutting off just a little bit, but I think I understood where you were going. So there has been a lot of criticism, towards the world of agencies, and you just brought some of that up. Some of the major changes that are happening, the foundations are rocking. People have been, demanding or criticizing a lack of creativity in advertising, short-term thinking versus long-term thinking for brands, budget cuts. What would you describe as the biggest challenges in the world of agencies right now?
I think the agency model traditionally was built for a certain time, a certain budget size. And for a long time, it was allowed to get away with large overheads. The nature of the business world and speed right now is so different that you need nimble and cost-effective teams and support. I think that the challenges you're referring to are just an antiquated model. You know, we see that in a lot of industries. You see that with Tesla, with cars, for example, selling directly to the consumer. That's bypassing the traditional model of a car dealership. The same thing applies to the agency. If the talent is existing on its own without large overheads, then the people that used to be at big agencies are now starting their own shops. And so you really have a cost point of difference, but also this concern for big agencies, which is, well, what do we do with all our big overhead? And how do we service these clients? And frankly, you want to get in on the ground level with clients. You know, you want to be that.
I apologize for the technical difficulties here. Maybe it's the mountains, maybe it's you know, the weather. But George, yeah, now I can see you again moving. So you were just freezing a little bit. And let's just hop into curated. I mean, curated is what many would call the future of the agency. It's a future of work solution also. It has been described as the only way to agency, which I think is great. But what you really do is you help companies find and work with the best small agencies in the world on digital and creative projects. You said already that your team is based in New York City, but your network, of course, is much larger. It's global. It has about 5,000 leading small agencies. And you have helped really large brands to work with them. Spotify, Bluestone Lane, just two examples. So your promise, I think, is really like, be collaborative, be agile, be small instead of big, right? And to understand how you do this, would you mind sharing your screen and head over with us to curated.io and maybe just explain to us for a minute how your platform actually works on a daily basis when people show up on curated.io.
Yeah, for sure. Give me one sec. Can you see my screen there?
Yep.
Great. So yeah, just walking you through the screen. So the way that our sort of platform is built is really to be intuitive around capturing the intent of a user and making sure that for a project. And you can't see our focus is on being what we call so if sort of where we've the business to curated and start telling us exactly in C world and please jump in if I drop out because I know it's been spotty. What we know with the agency world is that account leads or account managers are really the ones to capture the intent and translate it for the team. And so what our technology does first and foremost is intuitively give you the ability to talk about the things that you're facing within your business and the opportunities that you're trying to take advantage of. And what we then allow the user to do is actually work either through the technology or with a dedicated curator, hence curated, to create a brief, which then creates a short list of talent who submit proposals for that project. So essentially, we are a mix between human curation and RFP process, technology which simplifies the actual agency process, but also make sure that you're matched with the right teams on demand. And as you can see, we're very brand focused as well. We're very forward thinking, and we like companies to be able to very quickly and easily explain the challenges that they have and get to a point of a solution without spending weeks looking for the right agency to do that work.
George, we have a question here from the chat from Patricia, who I believe has at least one touch point with your industry. And she asks, what is your definition of best agency?
Yeah, great question. So from our perspective, we believe that our role is to improve the search process using the information that we have available. We have more information than anyone else in the market because we collect information on every single agency that applies to be a part of Curated. What that means is that in translating the need of a user or a client, they are given options that are suited to them based on the information that they input. So you're telling the system and you're telling the curator, I'm looking for a design agency in this particular location. I've got this budget to spend. That then automatically removes agencies that aren't best fit, but at the same time, it creates a short list of teams such that you're better informed and they're then putting their best foot forward. And so to answer the question, what does best mean? Well, best is always going to be subjective, but if you can give people a subset of options to make the decision themselves, then you're getting them most of the way there. They're always going to pick the agency they have the best relationship with and that they like the look of, but it's better in the place.
You were just cutting off on the last sentence here, so I'm just going to add a follow-up from Patricia. Does this mean, though, that there are no classical pitches at all?
Right, so good question, and I might just switch back to my screen. Is that, or is my screen on? Let me just use the tech to help you get there.
Yeah, you're still on screen share.
I'm on screen share, so let me jump off that. There we go. Does that mean there's no pitches? Well, we've actually, our technology's actually developed so that you can put your best foot forward, but in a standard form. One of the problems we found with traditional pitches were that they took a lot of time. You had no visibility to the process. What we do at Curated is give you the ability to submit a proposal in our standard form. We've really cut.
George, as you continue to cut out a little bit sometimes, maybe it would be an option to switch off video and just speak to us on audio, so we have a better chance on understanding.
Let me try and hotspot this and see if that works better. Give me one.
Okay.
Can you bear with me 1 second?
Sure. Yeah, I have streamed an entire remote daily episode through my smartphone already, so I hope it works for you as well. And I mean, what you do is clearly a predecessor, I think, for many industries, where you say small is better, small has more talent, small has more potential, and collaboration is so seamless now that we try to combine the best talents instead of hiring it and creating a huge balloon of people. As you said in the beginning, that was the old way of working. However, though, I wonder how you actually make a cut out of this. So you're a law guy, you're a finance guy. I'm sure you have a very well thought through business model behind this. How is Curated itself actually making a business out of this?
Yeah. So now I should be back on hotspot, so that should be better. Great. How does Curated make money? So we have a couple of models. One model is based on the client side. We don't want agencies to be responding to projects that aren't legitimate. And so our focus in that regard is clients need to show some degree of financial buy-in. We have a couple of models, be it pay to post or an annual membership where a client can essentially get access to more elevated services. From an agency perspective, our model is really simple. We take a referral fee from the final project price. So and that's totally transparent, not dissimilar to most marketplaces who actually get a percentage of that. At the same time, we offer additional services like payment processing and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you sold your last startup. What is the end goal of this one? What is the end goal for Curated?
Yeah, I think there's a long way to go in this space. You know, we're very much at the early phase. You know, we've been doing this for a little while now. I think what we've actually learned is what clients do and don't like, what actually makes projects complete and things like that. That makes us, you know, an authentic technology company with this added benefit of humans, and we continue to grow the community. I think that's the number one focus right now. Equally, our technology, like at Credible, is applicable to various verticals. So if you think about the agency space and what we're actually doing, we're facilitating high value transactions over the internet in a way that's never been done before. We're processing tens of thousands of dollars online. Well, companies haven't traditionally been prepared to do that. So that's been our sort of focus today. Where does that naturally lend itself to? It lends itself to other areas where human curators are of benefit. And that might be the commerce world, where there are transactions that typically get facilitated. Is that other areas of travel or real estate or consumer goods and things like that? That's certainly in our plans. And again, like I said, at Credible, we did that. But from the perspective of work and the future of work, our real focus right now is on continuing to build that community. I think if we talk about the gaps that were created by co-working, and this really lends itself to co-working, co-working moved heavily into the real estate model and sort of left community behind. We want to be a community first business based on human interactions and technology. And I think that's the focus right now. And, you know, whether or not there's a transaction for the business, I think we just keep growing the business and make it as successful as possible.
But how do you build this community, especially now that people can't meet and sit next to each other? And maybe, you know, you probably were able to maybe do a meetup or a happy hour at a co-working space, but now that's all gone and you still have these small teams dispersed everywhere. So how do you actually build community virtually?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think I would say 95% of the projects that we've done, the client and team have actually never met up in real life. That's very different to the traditional agency model. You do not need to meet the people that are doing the work anymore, and we've seen that in the last 2 months with everyone working remotely. How do you facilitate community? I think you need a really strong set of principles that back your business from day one. So you've got to say, look, our goal is to facilitate transactions between creatives who are doing particular subsets of work in a particular realm or space or community. And then you've got to give them the tools to do that. And you've got to be authentic about that the whole way. I think where companies have failed in the past, and if you look at the freelancer model as an example, you can't commoditize people and you can't commoditize work. You've got to give people a sense of purpose, and you've got to give them the ability to do their best work in the best environment. Anything else, people will see straight through that. Then you can build the tools to help them communicate better and meet up virtually like Remote Daily, or find different ways to interact and communicate and find like interests. And we're seeing that all over the world right now. So how do you do it? Well, you've got to be authentic. I think that's number one.
And talking about these agencies, I have one friend who broke off a very big agency and started his own small one together with the creative director he used to work with in this large agency. And they were vastly successful. They won all the awards. The advertising world is full of awards, even more than journalism. And he won all of them. And he told me for him, the small model is really about talent, because he says you can't hire the top talent anymore. They don't want to be part of a big machine. They want to be out on their own. They have their own small shop because it's possible due to some of the reasons you just mentioned. However, now we're in a crisis, and crisis always means consolidation. At least that's what past crises have shown us. So bigger firms, more cash, gobble up smaller ones who, you know, struggle to stay afloat. So why not in the agency world? Why do you think the small ones are going to win this time?
Oh, I think if what we were talking about earlier with overheads and price, like you look at what's happening in the employment world. Companies are cutting, you know, significant portions of their workforce. We speak to a lot of companies every week who are telling us about, you know, they're having to make cuts. Those budgets are not going to exist in the same capacity that they used to. People want more bang for their buck. Where does that bang for your buck come from? It comes from small agencies, right? It's more cost effective to do it that way. Why will small agencies succeed? I think small agencies were succeeding before. People want to know what they're paying for. They want to see a competitive process happen. They don't need the bells and whistles because they're just not going to move fast enough. And at the same time, we like to think of ourselves as curated as a business. Is we're really replacing that role of that mid-level employee who was otherwise running the procurement process themselves. If we can bring you everything you need, and that's replacing the needs of 1 or 2 or 3 employees within your business, then extrapolate the cost benefit of that alone, plus the access to cost-effective talent. I think that the days of the big agency and the big office are just long past us.
And may I put you on the spot here? I know it's 5,000 agencies in your database, but we're always looking for new innovators, for new groups of people that we connect with here on Remote Daily. Would you mind maybe sharing, and we haven't talked about this question before, sharing 1, 2, 3 names of small agencies that you really find inspiring, or you really look up to, and where we can see this future that you are building really working out?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we work with a lot of small agencies that have different models. There's one that springs to mind called Lustre, Lustre. Their focus is particularly on e-commerce, and they say they have a disaggregated agency model. What they do is they have resources that they can pull in. So they have a central and core team, and then they're able to pull in depending on the project. What that means is they keep their overhead down such that they're able to actually only pull in the resources that they need at the point in time, rather than carrying that big agency overhead, which means that they can tailor and dedicate a team for a particular project. They are moving very fast in the e-commerce world with some big brands, and able to grow their business with those brands. So I like that model a lot. Another company we're a big fan of is a Brooklyn-based agency called Buzzworthy. Again, really smart group of people who came from the agency world, and able to take a particular focus on design and dev and bring products that look good to the masses. And that's often been a challenge with the internet, is that design into dev hasn't translated well. You've now got tools like Webflow, which allow you to design straight into dev. So agencies that are at the forefront of that, I'm a big fan of.
Thank you, George. And I just shared the links here in the chat for you to check them out. Really cool to get this glimpse into this industry through you. Maybe as a final question, you have created a special link here for us, for our audience today, which I'm also going to post in the chat for everybody. Maybe you can tell us what this link actually leads to, what you have in store for us there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said before, as a human tech business, we find that companies that we work with actually, and the budgets that they have, they actually want to talk to a human to begin with. So what we've done here for Remote Daily and Work Awesome is give all of your viewers and users access to Curated to be able to talk with our team and work with us without having to pay fees and sign-ups and things like that. So it's essentially a free link. Jump on board, sign up. If you're a small agency and are looking for more work, definitely sign up through that. If you are a company that wants to learn more about how to leverage small agencies, then dive in there as well, and you'll get guided support.
Thank you. And as a tech guy, before I say thank you for this conversation, maybe I may ask you to geek out one more. Is there one channel, a tool, an app, a social media account that helped you going through the last couple of weeks, that makes you feel better these days, that you can share with us?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go down the traditional route for this question. There's a couple that I like that I'm on religiously. I'm always on Reddit. I think that you can always find people giving genuine responses on Reddit and creating conversations. And I've always loved that. The other thing I like is that LinkedIn have also created some really cool new channels around published articles. They are getting more heavily into the published space. And I think being able to jump from article to article on that and see things in real time, I'm a big fan of. So those two channels in particular, both from a real-time perspective, but also not consuming more mainstream media, but actually getting articles that the crowd is sourcing themselves. I like that.
Thank you. And thank you for spending the time here with us. Britt just shared through the chat all the ways to follow you, to be in touch with you. Is there also an email we can share from you?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to give my personal email out. If you can email me at george@curated.io. We'll put that in the chat as well. But that's my personal email.
Thank you, George.
Very responsive. Great.
Thank you. And I think you really showed us today what the future of work can look like in a virtual era where we tend to look at the big organizations for solutions, but maybe the small ones have already found them. So thank you very much for all that you do for innovating in your space, and all the best for Curated. Everybody, please check out the link here that George has created for us. It is curated.io/remote/workawesome, and sign up for the platform, play around with it. And that said, we say goodbye to our live stream audience on LinkedIn and YouTube, and we give a large round of virtual applause to George Raptis. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today from the mountaintops. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but you're really high up there, and you got through in the end, thanks to your hotspot.